Unit 3.3, differentiating inverse functions. First thing to do is probably to remember that function's inverse can be found by swapping the x and y and solving for the y. This x to the -1 really just means the reciprocal, which would be 1 over x. Or another thing that means the same is f minus 1, sorry, this looks like a prime. F minus 1 of x is also the inverse, so the f minus 1 of x is f inverse x, which would be g of x. So the derivative of an inverse function is the derivative with respect of x of f inverse x is equal to 1 over f prime times g of x, and it's basically just g of x. Okay, so to find the inverse of f of x, it's going to be like a g of x. So you can think of this as your y value and your x value. You got to swap the x and y's. So if you want to find your x value for this, you got to swap it with this. So the x value would be 4, and the g of x would be 1. And we keep going, just swap them. So 5 and 2. 3 and 3 is still the same. 1 and 4. And f prime, like f prime of x would just be the inverse, or the reciprocal, so you could find this. So this would just be 1 over 5, 1 over 3, 1 over 3, and 1 over 4. And now that we have this graph, it's really simple to find the rest of these. So writing equation for the line tangent to f inverse at x equals 1. So the inverse of f is g. So let's go over here. At x equals 1, look at our x values. We find 1. So g would just be 4. So g of 1 is equal to 4. So we find our second value. Now we need to write the tangent line equation. This is our equation. Now let's just fill it in. Y minus 4 is equal to slope of x minus 1. What is the value of g prime 3? Okay, you see how the 3 is inside the little parentheses? Go to where x is 3, which is right here. G prime, boom, 1/3 is equal to 1/3. What is the value of g of 4? Go to where x is 4, which is the first one, and g of 4 is going to be equal to 1.